Go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution, another opportunity for us to find ourselves considering this electric universe we're in. The rain is gonna, it's already starting out there, so we'll be streaming inside. It's not as green around me, admittedly, but it's dry. And electricity, as we know, don't mesh well with water. Something, something. That's totally what's happening. Yeah, yeah. I had a whole moment today thinking about the fact that we are these systems, these networks of so many different influences, so many of the processes that begets our experience as we're having it right now can be likened to electricity. And we do live in the modern age, so we have access to these devices, right? We literally use electricity every single day, not only in these devices, but also in ourselves. For me to move my fingers, my brain has to send electrical impulses so I can be what it is I am. And that fascinates me. You ever think about that? You ever think about how much electricity you've used internally as it relates or compares to how much electricity you've used externally? I probably used a lot more, not probably, definitely, used a lot more energy in the outside world than I've needed, right? I'm thinking about something as simple as having a fan, right? The fan that I have runs at like 25-ish watts, and that's enough to keep me comfortable. The average human body runs about 120 watts of energy, right? And one way to kind of visualize the amount of energy we use is to imagine ourselves in a room that is perfectly insulated, right? Not a drop of heat can escape, not a drop of heat ideally can enter that system. Let's say there is enough oxygen inside that system so you don't suffocate. You would eventually cook yourself. You would become so uncomfortably hot in that space that you would die of the heat that your body is outputting into your environment. I'm pretty sure the average is about 120 watts, right? Like running a little 120 watt heater in that room alongside you. Today, we'll be having a conversation about electricity, specifically as it relates to the electricity that runs through our bodies, but also as it compares to the electricity that we use as human bodies. I have a computer that uses a certain amount of energy, about 160 watts average. I have a little fan that runs at like 25 watts that helps me stay cool. And as far as I understand, the human body runs at about 120 watts of energy just for my bodily processes to continue. I would like to explore this topic from a place of fascination, going down a list of ideally maybe some facts about the amount of energy that my body uses, the amount of energy that my brain uses relatively to the rest of my body, and specifically the amount of energy that it takes as a signal when it is sent, when I have the impulse to lift my arm or to wiggle my fingers. Those are electrical impulses as well. I would like this topic to be something that is awe-inspiring to the average person as to how wild this electrical system that they are is. Is that a hoopy that I see? Hey, hoops. No, that's Moon Knight. Hey, Moon Knight. What's up? I hit my 81,000 subscribers today. Mr. Stepper88. Is that true? If that's true, that's very impressive. Let me see your channel. At Mr. Dot Stepper 88. Hey Moon, Nikola Tesla equals electricity. Sure. In part, yes. Yo folks, hey Sam. Yeah, you're right. Look at. Stay tuned for more updates. Can't take no more pain hook. You do music stuff? That's cool. Music. Music takes electricity. The fact that we can turn electrical impulses run through an electromagnet put onto a membrane that moves air molecules, that have those air molecules hit our eardrums, turning that into movement that moves small little hairs, that turns those small little movements into electrical impulses that our brain decodes for us to hear sounds. That's wild. That's so wild. Hi, long time no see, MeltMore. Hey, Linda. Or Angelina. It's nice having you here, little one. Sending your blessings. Moon's here saying, Aunt Sam, how are you? Yeah, asking questions. Look at you, Moon Knight. You learn quick. We got Dream Tooth here too. Hello. Wildest sounds. Oh yeah. It's wild that we can experience sound at all. Why my ear holes not hear you so well this morning? They're both new. Why is there something wrong with my audio? Unplugging this thing. Now I'm plugging it back in. Did that fix the problem? Now I have to go check it out. Let me see. Yeah, that's very bad. Why does it sound like that? Oh, I think there's a reason. The microphone's not on me. It's laying here. Is that better? That should be better. Let me check it out. I think that's gonna be a lot better. Oh, yeah. I think there's a reason. The microphone's not on me. It's laying here. There we go. Yay. Thanks, Sam. You guys, was it just me or did it get louder when you unplugged it? Yup. Yes. I've done this. I've done this wrong time, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Electricity, right? Something electricity, because that's what happened just now. Because there is a certain amount of output. My voice is literally outputting, right, frequency, and that frequency needs to be picked up by this little microphone, and the decibels, the level of intensity that those signals hit the little membrane with, is going to be directly related to how well you can hear me. And it wasn't even that far behind me. It was like just here. But because I'm projecting all of this energy in this direction, I can even see how that changes the audio as well. Electric universe, right? That's boom. Yeah, intentional. Totally didn't. Me mistake makings, never. It's experience that we can sound at all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. Sam, I got louder. When he got up, it's fixed. Ideally. What just happened? Frequency or feeling? Frequency. You friends felt that you couldn't hear me properly, even though technically you could, but it was a frequency thing. I'm pre-coffee hoop, have mercy. Hoopty hoops have no mercy. Cat makes biscuits, he makes no sense. Oh well, all of this directed energy can be seen, especially if you have synesthesia, right? A lot of energy leaving my voice. I wonder actually, how much energy does my voice output into the world? Let's go down this little little exploration, shall we? There's a bit. This thing gave us a bit. Maybe it will even talk about voice at some point. Your body as a power plant. At rest, a human body uses roughly 100 to 130 watts of continuous power. That is not metaphorical, it is actual energy flow. Sup, dude? Hey. Ilazig Lizapa Ista. Yeah. Ilaz. What's up, Ilaz? It's nice having you here too. We're talking today about energy, right? And the fact that your body uses continuous energy. And every single time you want to move any of your limbs, you have to send these electrical impulses down your central nervous system in order for your body to move, for muscles to contract themselves. We're trying to inspire some fascination. Really? Really? Can I call you pasta? I'm gonna say hi, pasta. Batista. Ah, I know Batista. Batista. Pasta Batista. Batista pasta. I'm gonna stop. Keep trying. I will never stop. Bet your ass, hoopty hoops. The human body uses roughly 100 to 130 watts of continuous power. That is not metaphorical, it is actual energy flow. Quietly sitting, like I am right now, you are roughly using 120 watts. You are roughly a 120 watt biological device. Trippy. The same order of magnitude of your computer. You are burning fuel, converting chemical energy into motion, heat, repair, memory, and identity. Wild. Over a day, this adds up to about 2,000 to 2,500 calories, which is 2.5 kilowatt hours of energy. That's a fair bit, right? Recently, a 1 kilowatt hour battery was acquired, and it weighs a lot. Like storing that much energy weighs like 40 pounds as of now, right? So I use about twice that amount of energy. If I had to, and this is actually a fact, if I had to carry all of the ATP my body is going to consume today, I would literally have to carry an entire body weight's worth, my entire body weight's worth of energy with me at all times. You're not being quiet right now. Better up those wattages. It's true. Brains. Run a 100-watt light bulb for almost a full day, or your 45-watt fan for nearly 4 days straight to use the same amount of energy. Unlike your computer, however, this system that you are self-repairs, self-organizes, rewrites its own software, and never fully powers down. The brain is a small organ with a brutal energy budget. Your brain is only 2% of your body weight, but it consumes roughly 20% of your total energy. So out of that 120 watts, 20 to 25 watts are going straight to your brain. I think, and this is of course hubris, I'll admit that much, I think my brain uses more energy than that. Because the way I eat, you would think I would have to be obese by now. Christian likes making fun of me. Hey Brittany, it's nice having you here. My brain doesn't stop. Constantly, even when you're sleeping, especially when you think, imagine, feel, or remember. That's about the same power draw as your fan, except the fan just moves air. Your brain generates worlds. Love your pants. Thank you. They recently got record. It's Stylo. Hey Stylo. It's nice having you here again, friend. Darren is here too, saying, hey everyone, bless you, friend. It's nice having you here too. All right, Darren. Sam saying hi to our friends. What's wild is that the brain doesn't get more power when you think harder. It reallocates. Thinking deeply is like diverting energy from one city district to another without ever shutting the grid off. The electricity inside you is real electricity. The signals that move your arm, wiggles your fingers, or form the centers in your mind are are electrochemical impulses. Each neuron maintains a voltage difference of about 70 millivolts across its membrane. That doesn't sound like much until you realize that you have 86 billion neurons. Each one is a tiny charge capacitor. Every thought is a coordinated electric storm. When a neuron fires, voltage shifts rapidly. Ions surge through protein gates and the signal propagates down an axon at up to 120 meters per second. That's very fast because your neurons are this big, right? You're small little ditties. So something that travels 120 meters a second. And to you friends that don't know how big a meter is, it's about this much. That's about a meter, right? So 120 of these in a second is how fast that signal propagates. Task failed. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that out loud, Sam. I'm sorry. Like, not the way my brain works. Boom, I make thunder. Yeah, your brain is in a whole electric storm. Thunder like a thought coming out. How much energy does a single thought take? That's faster than a sprinting cheetah inside of your skull. Yeah. Like, I mean, 120 meters per second is like a lot faster. A lot faster than a cheetah, I'll say, but okay. Here's the counterintuitive part. A single neural signal uses an almost unimaginable small amount of energy. A rough scale is that a single action potential uses on the order of magnitude of 10 to the minus 9 joules, right? That's very little indeed. Such small little amount of energy. That is a billionth of a joule. That thought is not one signal, though. Thoughts are millions to billions of neurons firing in patterns, synchronizing, inhibiting, and then amplifying. The miracle is not that thoughts cost energy, the miracle is how cheap they are for what they produce. I think that is true. If you had to like relate the amount of energy we use for our AI systems right now, the fact that you can use a billionth, a billionth of a joule, and you can have a thought from that. That is bonkers. That is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure that the literal, like a single word on these screens uses more energy than that, right? Yeah, pretty sure. We don't speak meters because pirates, true. Also because we won World War II or something, according to the I dropped out because I was too smart for my teachers, folks. Yeah. I mean, I think the kilogram got stolen. I don't know if the meter got stolen. But yeah, again, right? You get millimeters, which is a tenth of a centimeter. Then you got centimeters, which is a hundredth of a meter. Then you get kilometers, which is a thousandth, or a meter is a thousandth of a kilometer, right? So it's like base 10. Like you have 10 fingers, right? Like that alone is like why are you still using yards? You foot's the yards conversion. Like that alone is like why are you like this? Why you leave me alone with my washing machine units? It's like yeah, no, it's like please. Like my poor let's call it logical engineering brain, right? Like when I try and think about the imperial system, it makes me angry. It actually makes me angry. Like it pisses me off. Makes me viscerally angry. Like, 3 feet in a yard is not it's not hard. Okay? How many yards in a mile, Sam? How many yards in a mile? Again, base 10. There is 10 of these in a centimeter. Then there is 100 of these in a meter. Then there is 1,000 of these in a kilometer, right? I don't have to be very smart to remember that, thank goodness. But if you had to go, I don't know if you have something smaller than an inch, right? You have fractions of inches. You get fractions, and then you get inch, and then you get foot, and then the foot into yard, and then yard into. No. Let me just do this actually. Right? Data is beautiful. Mm, inch, foot, yard versus millimeter, centimeter, meter. Yeah. Surely there's going to be something that will visualize it beautifully. Let's see if I say visualize. It's raining and the sun is still shining out there. Can you hear it? I'm trusting. Yeah, we're prepared to measure. Why are you like how you are? Yes. When you are how are you like and are you is and am? Mm-hmm. Yes. Of course. Is beingedness. Mm-hmm. Let's just do it like this instead. Imperial versus metric measurement. I'll search that first. There we go. Yeah, this is it. This is it. There you go. Those are the differences that we're working with. Yes. There is 1,000 millimeters in a meter. There is 1,000 meters in a kilometer. There is 1,000 grams in a kilogram. And there is 1,000 kilograms in a ton. Like those, that's the way your system looks. That's the way the rest of the world's looks. 0 is freezing, 100 is boiling. And then it's like, 32 is freezing, 212 is boiling. It's like, okay, cool. That makes a lot of sense. 12 inches to a foot, 3 feet to a yard, 1,760 yards to a mile. It's like there's so much wrong. And then that as well, right? Like those are the countries, these are the smart countries that know what they're doing. These are the countries that don't know what they're doing. Drive by Lovins, hey Gab, I'm dogging on the imperial system again, bro. You work in the engineering world, dude. Do you actually use the metric system for work, or do they force you to use the imperial system because you're living stateside? I'm curious. I'm curious. Tell me. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. GBs. It's still kind of hot here. Hope the rain is gonna cool things down. Hey, Koketsu. It's nice having you here, friend. Love you, besties. We love you too. Hell into the wind. You're moving here, and you're gonna have to use them too. I will not. I will, in fact, not use them. I'm gonna brute force. I'm gonna be the change that I want to see, kind of thing. I see Jovan is here with us too. Hey, Zhao. Love to you. Good morning. Joe Melt was just telling us he's Aang. Yep, I am Aang, the last airbender. Drive by love is love you again. I also must worky lurk, but I listen and love. Shrugs and imperial units. You're moving here, so you're gonna have to use it regardless of how you feel. I won't. I actually won't, Sam. I legit will not. Uh, I will still be thinking in metrics because again, it's like it's how I've grown up. If I feel something, I'll go, this feels like a kilogram. I won't be like, this feels like 2 pounds. No. Nah, 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 nah. All right. How much energy does a single thought take? Yeah, a billionth of a joule. Evolution has optimized this system beyond anything that we've ever built. That's true. Useless. Energy, electricity into force. When you decide to lift your arm, electrical patterns form in the motor cortex. Signals travel down your spinal cord, motor neurons fire, muscle fibers receive electrical input, calcium floods your cells, and molecular motors pull on protein filaments. Your arm rises. Electricity becomes chemistry, becomes mechanical, becomes motion. And the feedback loop closes instantly. Sensors report stretch, tension, position. Adjustments happen mid movement, and you feel like you're just lifting your arm. It's even giving me a little chart here. The rain be falling. How nice that I get to sit inside. There are places in this country that bag groceries with plastic bags with the Confederate flag on them. You have no choice. I have all the chances. Every single person that I meet, I'm gonna teach them the gospel of metric system. Gonna be like, yeah, let me show you why it's better, and then they're gonna be convinced, and they're gonna. It's like it's not even hard. That's the best part. Like it's not in comparison. It's easier to start thinking in metric than it is to continue thinking in imperial. That's the other part of it, right? Like I will never whatsoever have an intuitive understanding of how the imperial system works because it's not intuitive. It's by design busted. All right, so I won't. I have all the chance. We calculate in imperial as all our data is in that format. Technically, you could convert the data to metric and then do the equation. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, every single time I see an imperial unit, I'm going to convert it to metric, and then that's how I'm going to absorb the data. All right, that's the chance I think I'm gonna take. Are you ready for with your no, I don't know how he is face? I don't know who he is face. No, Joe is gonna stand. She's gonna be like, he's right, you know. He knows what he's talking about. He comes from a different world. Heat, signal, and meaning. Most of that 120 watts eventually becomes heat. Tell me about it. That's why you are warm. But a fraction of it becomes words, memory, music, choice, love, attention. A computer turns 160 watts into computations. You turn 120 watts into experience. Every human you have ever met, every painting, every city, every song, every injustice, and every kindness has emerged from biological systems operating at roughly the power draw of an old light bulb. The awe in plain sight is that you are not powered by electricity, you are electricity. Temporarily stabilized, self aware, looking at itself, wondering how it's even possible. The arm you lift is not obeying you, it is you conducting itself. There is nothing fragile or trivial about this. It is wildly precise, ancient, and it is happening right now. And the most astonishing thing is not that it works, but that it feels like home. And then the question of like voice. When you speak at a normal conversational volume, the acoustic power output is roughly 0.001 to 0.01 watts. That is 1 to 10 milliwatts of sound energy radiating into the air. Even raised, passionate speech is usually lower than 10% of a watt. Shouting loudly might temporarily approach 0.5 to a single watt of acoustic power. Right? Like I have a little speaker, little Bluetooth speaker. I think it's rated for a max output of 60 watts. And it is technically possible to be heard over the top of it. That's kind of bonkers to me too. The way you output sounds from your throat is different to the way a speaker membrane outputs energy. Can we compare this information to a Bluetooth speaker? My Bluetooth speaker has a max power rating of 60 watts. And I'm curious as to why it's possible for me to speak over it enough to be heard by the person next to me with my max 1 watt of acoustic power. Is the actual acoustic power of the sound lower than the actual rated limit? I'm guessing that's how it works. The physics of sound itself. 1 Pascal atmospheric pressure. Speech works by nudging the air by less than 1/10 millionth of its normal pressure. You are not forcing the world, you are perturbing it delicately. These microscopic pressure ripples then travel at 343 meters a second, entering another's skull, vibrating eardrums less than the width of an atom. Hey, Quiz English Life, it's nice having you here too. Our brain decodes for us to hear sounds like hearing with extra steps. Yeah, that too, bro. And technically, we'll be able to input cybernetically into our brain directly the sounds, and our brain will be able to uncode that information too. We're all ears, so Cyber Daddy could say love is true in that way. Yep. I think Meltmore was sending himself a subconscious by sitting on the microphone. Yeah. It's like hearing your eyes see upside down. Yep. And your brain interprets it right side up. That's true because of the lensing effect. Your eyes are a lens. And when light enters the lens, it technically gets bent, right? So a signal comes from the top, and then because of this lens, it hits at the bottom. A signal comes from the bottom, and then it hits technically at the top, right? So the image is reversed in my eyeball, but my brain flips that information right side up again. Most people don't know that, but that's one of the quirks of light and lenses. I am back, Miss Show, Galbert. Ugh, hope you're all well. It's nice having you here, Moon Knight. Bless and love is true. We got Dan here. Missed you guys yesterday. We missed you too, bro. It's nice having you here today. How you doing? How's life treating you, bro? Feeling a little bit better? I never know what to expect in these live streams, but we do get to communicate. I always appreciate it. Me too, bro. I also don't know what to expect in these live streams, for what it's worth, Hoopy. I do show up with something to say, but what's going to end up happening is always novel, a new experience for us to have as a collective, and I appreciate that. Might not be the most high bandwidth dopamine experience, maximally entertaining, but it is at least novel, right? You can know that you're gonna have an experience here that you've probably not had before, right? And I think that's valuable. Work is so busy, and I'm working remote instead of a sick day to not fall behind. So very grateful to catch 20 minutes here between it. Taking a deep breath with you, dear Dan. I hope this day finds you well as you continue through it, man. We're talking a little bit about the electricity that it takes to be a human being, right? The fact that there is ceaselessly energy flowing through your systems. Mm-mm-mm-mm. The disproportionate, the disproportion that should stop you cold. Here's the ratio that matters: milliwatts of sounds to thoughts, emotions, decisions, and memories, with less power than an LED indicator light. You can calm someone, wound someone, change the direction of a life forever, start or end a relationship, pass on an idea that ends up outliving you. Did somebody send me a gift? I'm seeing that I got. Oh, Gabby Goo sent a clapping seal. Bro, forgot to say thank you. I didn't see it until just now. Thank you, bro. Might not be, but you made it. I don't know what you know. I don't need 22 have. Nobody does, bro. 22 have is excessive, I think. Eyeballs are upside down, man. I don't think your eyeballs are upside down. It's more like the light is. The light as it enters your eyeball gets flipped, upside down. All right. Compared to your devices. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I do like that previous line. That the fact that for less power than an LED indicator, right? So let's say you have like a device that's charging and then it has a little light that like shines to let you know that it's charging. Your voice uses less power than that. And you have the ability with that energy output to calm someone or wound someone, change the direction of a life, pass on an idea that outlives you. The quiet truth. Your voice is not powerful because it's loud. It's powerful because it is precisely shaped by a nervous system, timed to breath, tuned by listening to itself, embedded into all your relationships. The universe barely registers the energy, but other humans do. A system operating at milliwatts becomes a bridge between consciousnesses. That's not efficiency, that's elegance. He's Belachi about imperial units. No, I'm not. I've moved on. Dan the man. We got another Dan here. Double Dan. Dan the man. Bro, it's been so long since seeing the other Dan. And the fact that other Dan recently joined us, and now we got Dan the man here too. Brother, blessings to you. I've been on a weight loss journey. 69 pounds so far lost. Bro, congratulations. You must feel so much lighter, metaphorically and emotionally, spiritually, for that, bro. I'm proud of you, Dan. I hope that it continues to serve you well. I have, I think, lost around 50 ish pounds when I went from being in a state of too much to being around the state that I'm in right now. And it can be very tumultuous. We ebb and flow, right? But the fact that you're showing up, that you're willing to pursue that journey is what's mattering. And the fact that you're here with us, allowing us to celebrate with you, bro. Congratulations. When we think about electricity, it's like energy, right? Everything is just electromagnetic fields. So, electricity, energy, consciousness are all the same thing. Yeah, damn. That's what I'm getting at today. And not only is it all the same thing, but the energy with which that we are having this rich experience with is so little in comparison to the energies that we use outside of ourselves, right? Like just your fridge. Your fridge uses significantly more energy than you do. And you have a whole plethora of experience, emotions, feelings, hopes and dreams, memories, the ability to do things in this world, right? Like it is kind of elegant instead of efficient. It is so elegant. Both had to share with you. You have inspired me to push beyond what I think is possible. Love is true. You remember. Yeah. Yeah, Dan the man. Love is true. Like you telling me that I'm the one who inspired you, it does warm my heart, right? That if I could inspire anybody to take better care of themselves, that makes the world a better place. I don't know if you were there for that part of the conversation just a little bit ago, Dan the man, but we were talking about how the voice using basically a milliwatt of energy can change a life, right? Can inspire a person. The amount of energy that it has taken for you to lose all of that weight is an exponential more than the words that I use to potentially inspire you to do so. So this is me honoring you for all of the energy, for all of the effort that it took for you to take care of yourself. We're so happy for you, bro. Electromagnetic fields only. What about dielectric fields? The statics. That too. Hi everyone, in lurk slash sleepy mode. Hey Nancy. It's nice having you here, dear friend. Sending you love for your day. Hope that there is coffee and dog walks coming up soon, I'm sure. Yeah, man, each of us has enough stored energy to level a city too. Yeah, if you could use all of that energy in the same way that a nuke does, you could. You could level a city with it. It's true. It's kind of wild. Yes, your intuition. I asked about the whole Bluetooth speaker in comparison to our human voice. Your intuition is pointing in the right direction. And the answer reveals a huge misunderstanding most people have about power, loudness, and sound. The short version is that the 60-watt rating is not 60 watts of sound, not even close. Let's unpack it cleanly. Electrical power is not the same thing as acoustic power. The greatest source of discomfort, the greatest source of discouragement is no encouragement. Fractals of love, brother. Dude, I am insecure at times, you know, than the man for trying to be someone that is encouraging, right? Because sometimes, and I've had this in my own experience as well, being encouraged to self improve can feel like an attack on your person as you are right now. But it is through the encouragement that I've received from my environment, from my world, from the internet, from the teachers whose messages that I value, that I have found myself doing the things that I've ended up doing, becoming the person I ended up becoming. And it's this balance, right, of loving people for how they are and for who they are, while at the same time showing them that you believe in them, right? Encouraging them to be the version of them that you can see them being. Could you unpack your trying for me to feel kind? Could you unpack your trying? I mean, I don't really have to unpack it, right? My trying looks like a willingness to show up every single day. Hoops. I'm trying right now. All right, this is what trying looks like. Trying doesn't have to look like action in some ways. Trying can look like a mental battle that you're having inside. I try, for instance, to be less selfish, you know? And trying in that way looks like a certain mental equation, mental dynamic that I have to find in myself, you know, stabilize myself within, because there is this understanding that the ego has a certain selfishness attached to it, right? That I have to preserve the resources, the food, for instance, that I have in order for my continued existence. While at the same time, there is this understanding of non separation that my consciousness is originating from. And I, as an ego, have to try and integrate with that side of myself. And again, it looks like showing up every single day. I think you should be selfish. I don't think you can help it. I think all of us are inherently selfish because we are uh, entities, all right? And an entity needs to continue its existence. It needs to eat food, all right? It is, in a way, inherently selfish to bring a spoonful of food to your mouth. You can, of course, bring a spoonful of food to someone else's mouth, but every single time you bring that spoonful of food to your own mouth again, you are, in a way, acting selfishly. And again, I feel like we have demonized the word selfish a lot, right? Because again, you are a self. I'm back. Hey, Kaylee. It's nice having you. You are a self. You cannot escape the reality of that situation, right? It's the way that it is. I knew without a doubt, says Dan, that you were here. It never crossed my mind that you might not be. But having lost my father, earlier this year, I take little for granted now. I'm sorry for your loss, Dan. For what it's worth, I don't know if this is going to add hope or remove it, but my relationship with my dad has improved over the last couple of months as well. Makes me feel more hopeful. There were moments this year as well where things were pretty rocky, tumultuous to say the least, and we can find ourselves not loving our fathers, taking them for granted, as you said, a lot more when we're in that ego state, right? Offended, angry, hurt by what was said. And it is important for us to remember to not take these things for granted. Thank you for reminding all of us, Dan. Love is true. I'm asking for your help, and I am still unsure about what help you're asking for. What kind of help do you need, Dreamtooth? If you can clearly define the way in which you need my help, maybe I'd be able to. Right? I do believe at the same time that the help that I'm here to give, so capable, so needy, yeah, the help that I'm here to give is what I'm giving you right now, right? You can be helped by this moment, like Dan. Dan has been here in this space, has absorbed the truth of love with us here, right? As he said, that he's known that I've been here this whole time. And Dan has been doing the work on his side of the world. And now, after he's done so much work to self improve, he found himself here again, knowing that I was going to be here to receive him and celebrate him in this moment. And, right, like I've been helping this whole time. Even though I didn't have to give any input, I didn't have to keep cheering him on, go Dan, go Dan, go. Still, as spirits, as this collective, as this interconnected web of humans that we are, all of us are actively helping each other. It pleases to see me. It pleases me to see you and hear of this progress. I have been thinking, praying, and remembering you and he. I've been with this beautiful fractal since Reddit. It's true. Dan the man came all the way from the Reddit side. Nice having you here too, bro. Dan has been helped by everybody. That's the way it's like that's the way it is, right? No person is self-made. Not a single person on planet Earth achieved anything completely by themselves, right? Maybe there is like no, I don't think there's a single person that can say that, right? Maybe I could be proven wrong. I'd like to be, but I will probably not. I'll probably still find ways in which they were helped. If they were born, right? If you exist at all, it means that you were probably born to a mother, right? And you used to be a baby at some point, which means that somebody had to feed you. Otherwise, you would not exist right now. You would not have achieved anything because you would have ceased to exist before you had the opportunity to. All right, get helped. Get helped by everybody. Sometime there's nothing we can do. In moments that there is nothing we can do, we can breathe. Moon Knight. All right, remember that breathing is some of the oldest spiritual technology that we have access to in that way. It really is the way it's supposed to be. Yep. A 60-watt speaker produces zero point 0.6 to 1 watt of acoustic power. Why your voice wins nearby. Even when acoustic power is similar, delivery matters more than raw watts. Distance, sound intensity drops with the inverse square law. Double the distance, 1/4 the intensity. If your mouth is half a meter from the listener and the speaker is 3 meters away, your sound can arrive 10 to 30 times louder, even with equal or even lower total power output. And then there is directionality, right? Where if I talk directly like this, or if I talk like this, there is a difference. The fact that we can project energy in a certain direction. Your voice is not radiating sound evenly in all direction. It is directional, forward focused, and tuned for speech frequencies, the 1 to 4 kilohertz range. Meanwhile, a Bluetooth speaker spreads sounds broadly, wastes energy by vibrating walls, ceilings, and tables, and sends sounds where no ears are. You are beamforming with your anatomy. All right, gotta go. Thank you for sharing this good news with us, Dan. Have a beautiful day, dear friend. Congratulations again. I look forward to you getting stronger, right? I remember back in the day me saying that the goal is never necessarily to just lose weight, right? It would be better for your body, right, if you're in an overweight state to lose that excess weight. But the goal always is to feel stronger, right? That experiential feeling of I am stronger, I am more capable to bend down and pick something up, to squat and be able to lift myself up again. The comfort with which I get out of the bed, the ability for me to potentially catch myself if I have to fall forward, right? Like that is what is truly important. And I envision you continuing to get stronger, dear friend. We can say to ourselves that if I win, I will enjoy Earth, and if I die, I will become a particle of the infinite cosmos and wander around. You can say that to yourself, it's true. But energy cannot be destroyed or created, right? So it's not like you become something. You already are that which you think you're going to become eventually. And remembering that, at least in my experience, allows me a certain awe. Awe and at the same time comfort. And knowing that I'm going to be okay. I just have to continue being, continue breathing, find myself in the elegance of the experience. The truest important experience. It's the one you're having right now. It's true, Hoopy. And for the religious people, you will not wander but attain heaven. Yeah, attain heaven as you do. I don't know if heaven is something you can attain. All right, personally, I don't think so. I think heaven is a state of being, right? And maybe you can attain a certain state of being, sure, but it's again, right? I have attained in that way states of being, and then I have lost that state of being too, right? And attainment, in my mind at least, is like something that you put in your pocket, right? I have attained. Maybe I'm thinking about acquisition, acquiring instead. Let me see. Hey Google, what's the difference between attaining something and acquiring something? Wow, it's really thinking about it. There we go. Attaining generally implies achieving a goal or a level, often an intangible one, through significant effort or development, as in attaining enlightenment. Yeah, exactly. Or attaining a degree, where acquiring means to simply get or gain possession of something, which can be tangible or intangible, and may or may not involve much effort, like acquiring property or acquiring a new skill. In short, attain emphasizes achievement and effort, while acquire emphasizes possession or coming into ownership of. Okay, yeah. So I was definitely a little bit misaligned with my interpretation of attainment. Can you attain heaven? Again, right? Like there can be a certain effort. I feel like, in a way, it begets a lot of messing with ourselves, right? Because it's not clearly defined. I think in attaining enlightenment, you can meditate and you can strip your ego of all of its attachments. And you can go and sit on a rock and separate yourself from all of the worldly distractions. And it's going to take a significant amount of effort. You're going to have to develop yourself psychically in order to do that. But I do not know if that is the right way to go about it. Hmm. The intangible. How do you lose something that's intangible? That's the question my mind is begetting. Melt, it would be a pleasure to one day be with you in one of your live streams talking about different topics. Ask and you shall receive, Moon Knight. If you really do want that, and you are actively manifesting, I do believe that it's possible. I have noticed the power of human beings transcends possession. Right. My life has been changed in many ways due to the wants of other people. There is this certain ability, right? I feel like it's easier when two people try and manifest together. And I would like to have a conversation with you in this way too at some day, Moon Knight. So we just have to continue showing up now, hold in our mind our idealized outcome, and then one day find ourselves alongside each other. And the right way to go about it, the way you say today, the way you come broadcasting your voice every day. It's the right way to go about it. The way you say today, the way you come broadcasting your voice every day. Maybe. Maybe I'll attain something in doing that. Hoopty hoops. But I've had experiences in my life so many times where even if I do attain something by doing this every single day, I am more than willing to understand the fact that it's going to be impermanent too, right? Where heaven in many minds or enlightenment in many minds seems to be a destination, right? That I'm going to do all of this meditating and then I'm going to attain enlightenment and then I'm going to be enlightened. I'm going to live a Christian life and I'm going to sing the hymns and then I'm going to go to heaven and then I'm going to be in heaven forever. Where I don't know if I am convinced that that's the way it works. I just don't know, right? It seems to me like there is always a state of flow going on. I'm gonna be listening. It's the best that we can do. We got Connor here with us too. Hey Connor. Hope you're well, friend. How's life been treating you? Are you showing up? You're making good decisions, dear friend? I sure hope so. My ears do work. I don't know what state of what. I don't think you have to know, dear hoopty hoops. I think all you can really expect of yourself is to be with what you are. Be where you are. Realize that you attained in that way this moment. And to cherish it like it is fleeting. Like it's due, bound, inevitable, that it too shall pass. It is now time for me to show you a flower. What did you eat for breakfast, Melt? I ate a mango, raspberries, and blackcurrant berries. Yeah. One mango and then raspberries and blackcurrant berries. That is what is powering me body right now. Now I can show you a flower. Hey, freaking mosquito just got close to my body. Don't you get out of here. Aw, hard eyes. For me? For me, hard eyes. I guess I lost my job. So I'm trying to figure out my way forward from here. Life is a way of putting you in the right direction, I guess. You'd be surprised, bro. Every single time a door is closed, the window opens kind of fractal, right? I do trust that you'll learn from this experience, that you'll grow because of it, that you'll find yourself aligning with the path that you're supposed to be walking. We got Kiefer here too, saying good morning, friends. Melt, I absolutely love this shirt today. Great choice. Thanks. It's one of my new ones. I've never worn it on stream before. One of my new shirters. Yeah. Tomorrow I'll wear the third new shirt that I got. Goodbye, everyone. Love to you, Moon Knight. We'll see you again soon. Hoopy is going to be blunt, and he says, you require support more than I can offer. But it's not a judgment, it's not a concern. Set out of compassion, as your requests often from folk. I think you are right in a way, Dreamtooth. I think I do ask a lot, but it's because I understand that I'm a part of a community, right? And when I make an ask, it can sometimes feel like it's too much, but it's only too much if the ask is only lodged at you as an individual, right? That you have to fulfill my ask alone. If all of us collectively could try and honor a request, the individual burden that it would have on a singular person would be so low that it would be possible for us to help each other. And it's going to take us some time to get to that point because it's hard. There's so much that has to happen in the process of trying to align with what it is we need, right? What it is we can give in this moment, how much it is we can give. And I want you to know that I don't want you to feel bad, right, for not being able to provide me as much support as I need. Because again, got it. There's like the little dusties, but that mosquito isn't gonna eat any of me today. I don't want you to feel bad, bro. I respect the respect. I do understand, right? And I haven't dropped dead yet, so clearly I didn't need more than I've gotten. Melt speaking.
Good day.
Hello.
Good day, sir. You speaking to Messi. How are you doing today?
I am absolutely fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm okay. Thank you so much for asking. I'm calling you from Call on Me. We are an independent lead provider to Discovery Financial Advisors, okay?
Well, uh-huh.
So I wanted to find out from you. Do you have an active Discovery Financial Advisor?
I don't.
Awesome. So the reason I'm giving you this call is because a Discovery Financial Advisor would like to give you a call either this year or in the new year to schedule a consultation with you. So they would love to give you an opportunity to compare or revise all your portfolios to see if they may be able to offer you better premiums or benefits on your long-term insurances. Then you can make a decision from there.
That is such a generous offer. You know, like my friend is actually with Discovery as well, and I had a few conversations with my family this weekend about how Discovery has these options where they like track your health metrics and they'll reduce your premiums if you actually go and you work out and you sleep properly. However,
Yeah.
I'm moving to the United States next year, and
Wow.
yeah, I probably will be getting myself insurance and financial advisors on that side if I do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, no, I understand. I hope you do get one though.
Thank you. I appreciate you
Thank you
calling
so
and
much
doing
for
your
taking
job.
my call.
I hope you have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye. I respect the respect. My current air density is. That is, yeah. That's why I didn't even try, bro. I'm sorry. Hey Jojo, is Jaju here? I haven't seen him. Maybe you're talking to Jovan. Maybe, yeah. Thanks, bro. I haven't told my family yet, and I don't like lying, but I feel like I need to figure this out on my own without the pressure from them or anyone else. Yeah, I get you, bro. I was going through a few experiences this weekend like that as well, where the fact that I'm not a high earner yet was definitely messing with my mind a little bit because my family is like most of them are engineers or like some of them are insurance reps, some of them are mechanics. So, like, relatively higher earners here in South Africa. And it feels experientially kind of when you cannot tell your family that you're doing well, kind of thing, you know? I'm sending you blessings, dear Connor. I trust that you will find work soon again. I'm now going to read you the poem. You ready? It goes, or it's titled at least, A Loop with a Body Inside It. Yes. I learned early. Bless you too, bro. Appreciate you always. I'll be here for you, friend. Day by day. You can trust. Look forward to you coming back into stream and letting me know that you've gotten a new job and that you're feeling even more appreciated and aligned with the work that you're doing. A loop with a body inside it. I learned early that love had a surface, that safety could be smoothed and parted and tucked into place. Hands were gentle, that is what complicates the memory. Fingers guiding my hair, palms settling my color, eyes tracing me for flaws I hadn't yet imagined. Their tending felt like belonging, yet something underneath it measured me every morning before I had a chance to arrive. The years never separated. The lessons grew into my muscles. Even now, I catch myself scanning every reflection the way someone checks a lock. Skin, clothing, the angle of my the angle of my shoulders. Not a reach for beauty, but an instinct for safety. A quiet vocabulary learned in childhood and spoken fluently by my nerves. Some days I hear the old voice move through me. Fix this, straighten that. You are visible, be cautious. It is not hatred, it is fear shaped into vigilance, a patterned rhythm my body mistakes for devotion. Then a moment arrives small enough to miss unless I am paying attention. A kind of inner tuning. I watch the loop circle itself and I see myself inside it, still trying to earn ease by arranging the surface of my being. Grief rises like a tide without wind, a sadness for the child who was never shown that unpolished could still be loved. A sadness for the adult who keeps trying to earn breath through presentation. Nothing malicious created this pattern, yet it pressed itself into me. All the same, something softens today. Not release and not triumph, but a slow widening. A pause in the reflex, a brief permission to simply be in my body without improving the view. I stand before the mirror as if meeting myself without expectation, not beautiful, not flawed, only here. In that quiet, the loop loses its grip. A new space opens, rough in texture, honest in tone, where existing is allowed before evaluation. A place where presence becomes the first truth and love grows from the simple fact that I am. Whew. Thank you, friends, for joining me again. MeltMore shapes fear into vigilance. I have. I've needed to do that my whole life, dear hoopty hoops. Actively reminding myself that love is true. Every single time these fears arise, I have to remind myself again that I am loved, at the very least, by myself as simply being. Love you all so super very muchly. Love you, Jean. Hell yeah. See you soon, man. Love is true. Truth is light. Thank you for joining me again, dear friends. I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, dear friends. Till we show up again.